Hey guys, so I'm back here and I do want to do another test. So I just talked to a couple of people. So I'm not using the same launcher. So we're going to take the pin out and see what happens with the long tuning chamber and HPA. I have a tank filled up here, as you could see. So I just want to touch base. Some guys comment on the videos and they say these things like, oh, that showed Sterling or this, that. My goal here is not, honestly, I'm going to tell you the straight up truth. Sterling is a master machinist. He knows what the hell he's talking about. And if you go back and look at some of his older, or somebody's, I don't know who it was, but somebody said, I think it was that old guy, the nut, that said he was getting less power with Sterling's chamber cap than this. If you look at Sterling's cap, the thing is machined masterfully, and his pin is twice as thick as this. So obviously you're going to have less volume in here. You're not going to get as much air. You're probably getting a more reliable, more sturdy piece of equipment made of aircraft grade aluminum than recycled stuff, no doubt. So you're going to get a little bit less power. But the thing that really drives me nuts in this whole community is the power that people are chasing. I mean, regardless of whether you're using this or Sterling's or a barrel or some other launcher, I mean, we're getting 60, this straight out of the box, this is a 50 joule launcher. This is more than enough for less lethal self-defense. But people are really joule junkies. I mean, this thing I got at 69 joules, which is even ridiculous. And then people are complaining, oh, I got 65 joules with Home Defense 24, and I got 61 joules with Star. Dude, you're talking 4 joules. You're still over. I mean, the ridiculousness of what people are complaining about is outrageous. Guys, we are all in this together, and a lot of this stuff we do, we are hobbyists. If you want to learn about self-defense, there are guys out there like Shadowcat. He's doing a lot of great stuff now and focusing on the self-defense aspect of it. But then you have guys like us that, we tinker and we make crap for these things, and we do take it serious too. Don't get me wrong, we use them for defense. But when we're complaining about 5 or 6 joules, and yeah, it is good to know what happens. So I am going, it might be right. When I put this thing on the HPA now, this thing might come out like a torpedo, but this one, it didn't. It flopped like a limp dick. I'm not using the same launcher though, because I put the pin in this one back in with red Loctite, and I'm letting it dry. And not that I have a bunch of these for myself, just to keep to fool around with. But I'll show you this. I took apart here. We're going to take it apart. It didn't come apart that, I mean, it is thin. And I will agree with anybody. Anything made overseas is all our recycled crap. This one doesn't move. None of them that I had did move. But, if you fool around with it enough, it's going to. But I put this on here because I don't want to screw up the threads. And I had taken this one out before, so I had unscrewed it a little while ago because I was going to use it, but I put it back in. I didn't Loctite this one though, again. But there is thread bond on these when they are put in, so that's good to know. So now let's take this. Well, first of all, let me exercise a little caution here, because we're not going to be using that. Let me get this out. We're not going to be using these two. We're just going to use, I think we're going to use one. We're going to try it with one, like we did the last one, because most of the time you're going to fire this thing with one in there. I really think too, if we just fired it with just the pin, a lot of air is going to go around it, and it's not going to come. At least this would block the air, maybe, from coming out of it. So let's take this sucker off. There we go. These ones, this I have nice and lubed up. I don't even want to touch it. I just want to leave it alone. All right, so where's this thing? This is here. So we're going to shove this sucker in. Very loose too. That's odd. And let's put a little Teflon on here. I put the Teflon. That's how we do it over here. If you don't want to do, it says you don't have to. It's not going to hurt you putting Teflon on 100%. So I just want you guys to know too, when I carry this thing, I carry this one for self-defense on me outside, and I don't carry it modded. I just carry it regularly. So that's how I do it. You know, for me, 50 joules is more than enough. You know where to hit somebody with it, and you know what to do. But for those guys that like to see the drama and they want to see us fight, listen, the best one out there right now is Ruthless Defense, or Rat Defense. He hit the nail on the head. He says we all got to get together and do the right thing, and everybody in this has knowledge. And I will never ever question a master machinist. To have the machines, look at that, the thing fell right out the barrel already. Son of a bitch. All right, so I got to put this all the way back down in there. All right, it's all the way down in there. We put that in, so I guess we're gonna hold, so that kind of sucks, but yeah, all right, so we're gonna put the ball in, so the ball is in front of it, so it doesn't come down. We're gonna go over here to the doohickey, and we're gonna fire it up fully with HPA. We're pointing, now guys, we're pointing it at the target. You know, for people to say, oh yeah, it could come off and break. Yes, it can come off and break when you shoot it, but if you're ever pointing any gun, launcher, or anything at something, even when you're not using it, like you're walking around, you're not supposed to be swinging it around like that. It's always supposed to be, if it's charged, even if it's not charged, you're never supposed to point this at something you don't want to destroy. That's firearm safety. They teach you in every firearm safety course. So regardless of what comes out of the front, it should be pointed at the thing you want to destroy. So, you know, please use that common sense with everything. All right, so let's go over here and, oh, you know what let's do too? Screw this, let's put an 8-inch barrel on here. How about that? This way we give it a little more power. Let's put an 8-inch barrel on. I got one in the drawer somewhere. Yeah, we'll throw an 8-inch barrel on there. No, this is for an M17. Got one somewhere. Ay. Thought I found it. Okay, there it is. All right, here it is, my 8-inch barrel. All right. All right, so we got the 8-inch barrel on there. All right, let's go over to the target and see what we got. All right, so I'm over here. Don't usually do it on this side, but I'll come here. I'm screwing on my HPA tank. The only thing that sucks is I'm gonna have to fill up this tank after I'm done. All right, so we're ready. We're gassed up. Let's see. I'm sure it's gonna come bursting out. Still wasn't that impressive. That was every bit of air came out of there, and it's just laying here. It just came out like a regular, actually it came out with less pressure than the regular. I mean, you saw how that thing usually rocks. It's nothing crazy. It didn't come sailing across and, you know, I'm just, you know, it's just something that went out behind it. That's it, you know. So that's what we got. Now, I'm not able to leave it on a half a thread and see, it doesn't happen. But under pressure, once it just blows out, boom, it just blows out. Do I think that it's going to harpoon something and go through the wall and you know, kill people in the house next across the way or do that? No, I don't think it's going to do that. But you saw what it did. It's, you know, nothing crazy. So anyway, you know, if I could do the test better, I would try, but you guys saw, that's it.